What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Machiavelli, and I'm back with another reaction video, man. I told you guys I was gonna give you guys part two of the Sadhguru interview on Hot 97. Yeah, man, Sadhguru drops gems on happiness, shares some guru talk, global movement to save soil. So without further ado, man, let's get it.
On. Wow.
The purpose for you, going back to your childhood, going back to being 25 years old, having this revelation, both spiritually, emotionally, kind of understanding a purpose in that moment. You also said you were very successful at business. So there's a certain level of discipline that you already kind of inherently, I think, have. When you're talking to other people about them focusing inward and training that muscle, right? Because even as a 5-year-old, you could stare at something and ask questions. Like that level of focus is something that is either you're born with or you have to learn. It's everyone's capable, but some people kind of have it easier than others when it comes to focus. How do you get or teach or help people? Let me even say this: how do you open someone's
So
self to
this
that?
whole movement is called as inner engineering. When we say engineering, see right now you have some engineering going on here.
The
Uh,
wiring, the
it's engineering,
yeah,
electrical and
yeah.
electronic engineering. There's a building here, it's civil engineering. How well this machine works determines how well engineered it is, yes?
Yeah.
If something is working really well for you, then only you say it is well engineered. Is it not important to understand that the most sophisticated machine that you operate in your life is a human mechanism itself? Your own body, mind and the complex mechanism that it is. On this planet, this is the most sophisticated and complex machine on the planet. There isn't anything better than this here. So, I'm asking you, have you read the user's manual?
Right.
Then if you don't read the user's manual, you just somehow… if the guy who's playing the sound there, if he doesn't know anything about that machine, if he just bangs it here
It's
and
not
there,
gonna function.
once in a way it works.
Yeah.
Right now, once in a way people are happy, once in a way there is a sparkle of genius. No, there is a way to engineer yourself that every moment you sparkle, every moment you blissed out. There is a way to do this because this machine is something that you need to take charge of. But today your education systems, your social structure is such, right from the day you are born they're teaching you how to conquer the world, but nobody is telling you how to take charge of this. The quality of your life will not depend on what you conquer in the world. Even if I give you the whole planet, you could still be miserable, all right? But if you take charge of this one, you determine the nature of your experience. If you determine the nature of your experience, what would you choose, misery or blissfulness?
Right. The that process is what people come to. They
Yes.
come for. They're
It's
coming to
the
tap
basic…
in.
there are many levels of programs. The basic program that most people do is called inner engineering. It is a 30 to 32-hour program. It is structured in many different ways. These days, first 7 sessions, which amount for about 12 hours plus, is online. They do that preparatory step and then come for the more intense part of it, where you learn a practice with which in 6 weeks' time, you could change the chemistry of who you are. When I say the chemistry of who you are, your inner experience has a chemical basis to it. What you call as peace is a certain kind of chemistry. What you call as joy is another kind of chemistry. What you call as ecstasy is another kind of chemistry. Agony is another kind of chemistry. Anxiety, misery, whatever else, you name it, everything has a chemical basis to it. Why is your chemistry sloshing around like this? Something to look at, right? I must tell you this. I was to speak at Tel Aviv. I was flying from Atlanta. Some delays happened. I was to land at mid-morning and then speak at 6:30 in the evening. I landed at 6 o'clock in the evening. And I'm traveling an American airline, so there's nothing edible on that plane, okay? So I get there really famished. I land at 6 o'clock, I have a reputation to keep. that I have never been late to a single event in these 40 years of my public engagements. So I just quickly change in the airport itself and rush. I'm really hungry. And I find that I'm speaking at a fine restaurant. That doesn't happen to me always, but on that day it was like that. So I walked in and people had already assembled, people greeting me. And one man comes up to me and says, "Shalom." I ask, "What does that mean?" He says, "It's the highest way of greeting." I said, "That's your opinion. What does it mean, the word?" He said, "It means peace." I said, "Why is peace the highest way of greeting?" In South India, somebody comes up to me early morning and says, "Peace." I'll say, "What's wrong with you?" It is the highest way of greeting because you're living in Middle East, where peace has not been for a long time.
Peace
All
is at a
right?
premium, yeah.
Peace is really on a premium.
Yeah.
So, peace becomes the highest thing. So whatever you denied of, that becomes the highest thing. But look back and see when you started the square one of your life. When you're a 5-year-old child, you were… to be joyful was natural. Somebody had to make you unhappy at that time. Today somebody has… the whole world has to make you happy. When did the equation get reversed?
And what happened?
What happened is just this,
Time has changed,
that
man.
you got identified with things that you're not. You're just born as life and you will leave as life one day. People forgot they're even mortal, they think they're here forever. They don't understand time is right now ticking away for all of us here. Yes?
That's right.
Yeah.
It's not time that's ticking away, it's life that's ticking away. So if we know we have a limited amount of time, every moment of our time… of our life, if we are conscious that we have a limited amount of time and the only thing we have is how we experience our life, because there's no container service in the end. Nobody's going to take their stuff and go, all right? The only thing that you have is how profound and wonderful is your experience. If we were conscious of this, we would invest in a different direction altogether.
Well, and on that, the Save Soil movement, right, which is the essence of our planet, right, which is how we grow things to nourish our bodies, among other things, right? And you have become the, I guess, for lack of a better term, an ambassador with many other people for this movement on planet Earth to focus on the soil in the ground, which is where we will all return to at one day, right? But we are not taking care of it today.
See, to what extent the soil on the planet is damaged is unfortunately not come into the picture. In the last 2 years, I've been working on this. In last 24 years, we've been working on this on ground with Project Green Hands, then Rally for Rivers, with which we change the policy in India for the rivers, how you manage tropical rivers, and then Kaveri, calling as a project. Kaveri is a river, 83,000 square kilometers of land, 5.2 million farmers live and work here. We are changing that landscape on ground. We have many UN agencies, about 4 UN agencies as our partners right now. And this global soil issue has come to a place where every responsible scientist is clearly pointing out we only have 60 to 80 harvests left. By 2045, we will be producing 40% less food than what we're producing right now, and our populations will be over 9 billion. That's not a world you want to live in. That's not a world where you want to leave your children and go.
Yeah.
Because once there are food shortages, all your pretensions of being civilized will be gone. On the streets, people will become like beasts.
Yep.
Once there's real food shortage. It's happened in the past, it will happen again.
Yep.
We're driving ourselves in that direction. Today, the usage of how much fertilizer you need to apply to grow the same crop that you grew 25 years ago has almost doubled. Most people are going on increasing the dosage year on year because the soil fertility is going down. What is it that happened? To put it very simply, it's like this. If you take sand and add enough organic content into it, it will become soil. If you take soil and remove all the organic content from it, it'll become sand. This is called as desertification. This is the biggest problem on the planet right now, desertification. You heard about the Dust Bowls of United States in 1930s, and at that time they were telling me, I don't know the number, they were saying a few million tons of dust settled on New York City.
Yeah.
Yep, I don't know what… how many million tons, some
It was significant.
Yes, huge amount. So people were telling me, that much settled on New York City. I said, that settled on New York City because of the tall buildings and stuff. How much went into the Atlantic Ocean? You never thought about that. Hmm? Maybe 100,000 times would have gone into the Atlantic Ocean, the topsoil of your country, okay? First 12 to 15 inches of soil in the world is responsible for 87% of life on the planet, including you and me. What's happening in the soil? The living process, a handful of soil has anywhere between 7 to 10 billion organisms, okay? More than the populations that we have of humans. So only if it's alive like that, it produces food. It is not an inert material that you can throw chemicals and grow it. The only two ways you can put back organic content into the soil is either with vegetative matter, whatever there is, leaves and stuff, or with animal waste. Animals have gone off the farm long time ago, trees have gone off the farm long time ago. There are no cover crops in the summers or winters, depending on the weather, how it is. So, after 25, 30 years of farming, the soil starts becoming dead. In this country, they're referring to soil as dirt. If that is dirt, you and me are dirt bags. Obviously,
Well,
isn't
based
it?
on how we're looking at our country right now, you're not far off. You're not far off.
So, this is living soil. Soil is not our property, it's a legacy that we have received from previous generations. It's very important we pass it on that way to future generations. Right now, the soil that we're consuming, by all calculations, shows we are eating up what belongs to the unborn child. That's a crime against humanity. This has to be fixed. This is why this ride that I am doing from 21st of March from London to southern India, covering 30,000 kilometers, 27 nations.
You're doing this on your motorcycle?
Yes, lone
Wow.
motorcycle, just a single motorcycle. Because I'm 65 years of age, I don't have to do this. I want people to understand, if we don't do this now, if we don't bring about policy change in how we manage our soils, we will be a generation of deep regret. I don't want us to drive ourselves there.
And it doesn't matter, I heard you say once, it doesn't matter if you think you're richer than everyone, it won't matter.
It won't matter.
It will not matter.
No, not at all. See, just imagine, in New York City, let's say 40% of the people have no food to eat. You think they will respect your wealth? Those
they're
people
coming
who are
to take out
hungry?
the rich, for sure.
The first person who gets attacked is the rich, isn't it? Those who have food. Food becomes the gold of the day.
That's right. Sadhguru, I want to thank you for coming by for sure. And thank you for sharing, and thank you for doing this work too.
So from 21st of March, what we're doing now is, we want everybody, for 100 days I'm riding 30,000 kilometers. These 100 days, I want all of you to talk about soil in your own capacity. Whatever information that you need, we are providing a massive amount of information because all the top scientists of FAO, World Food Program, UNCCD, UNEP, IUCN, they're all with us. And the top scientists are there. Every information that you want, we will provide. Otherwise, you can always research your own this thing. But the most important thing is everybody who listens to you and all of you, say something about soil for 100 days and let's change the narrative. Because without people speaking up in a democracy, governments will not take any step. The reason why this has not happened and nobody is addressing this is our democratically elected governments last for 4 to 5 years. That's their life, that's their term rather. Why would they want to invest in something which takes 15 years, 20 years to produce results? Unless people ask for it.
Yep.
So this is just an effort to move 3 to 4 billion people across the world that they speak. If they don't know anything else, just say, save soil, let us make it happen.
Right.
That much at least. If 100 days, lot of people, 3 to 4 billion people speak on this, we have a way of aggregating these numbers with social media platforms, and using this, we will bring about a policy change. I am addressing the COP15 in Ivory Coast in the month of May, where 170 nations are there. Before that, we want to have substantial numbers so that nobody can ignore it. In a democracy, the only currency that flies is numbers.
So we will move safe soil to the top. Right now, we had drink water and take naps. We've been just trying to get people to take naps and drink water. That's really what we've been on for a long time. But safe soil
Safe
will go
soil's
to
the
the top.
movement.
And then drink water, take a nap. Where are you on removing animal products from the diet?
See, right now, the important thing is if if the vegetables that you eat, the vegetarian diets that you eat, especially in this country, I would say especially in this country, not because this is the only place this is happening, probably this is the only place where there's enough studies to show that the vegetables that you ate in early 20th century, let's say in 1920 you ate something, let's say a piece of lettuce or a carrot, what it had to offer for you, today it has only 10% of that nourishment. 90% is gone.
That's right.
If you ate one orange, today you have to eat 8 oranges to get the same stuff. So naturally people shift to meat. So it's important that soil organic content goes up, the vegetables that you eat, the vegetarian food that you eat has much higher level of nourishment, then the other thing will naturally go down because already there is a momentum towards eating more veggies and stuff in the country which was not there just 20, 30 years ago. So that moment is anyway there, but the important thing is to make sure that vegetarian diets have the necessary nourishment. That can only be done by enhancing the organic content in the soil.
Sadhguru, ladies and gentlemen. Save soil. Shani?
Yeah, I got one question. So recently, one of the greatest singers of my country, Trinidad, right, Marshall Montano, was in India introducing still is is in India, but recently there was a big
Mahashivratri.
right, and he was introducing soca music to some people, what looked like millions of people.
Yep.
And you were there dancing as well? I wanted to know
They're
if you were
friends.
on
That's their
stage,
friend. They're
like
friends.
whining and getting it on. If, like, you know what I'm saying? As we
Is that
say in
true?
Trinidad, getting on bad.
Well, Mashal has been there for 7 months now, both him and his wife. And this is a 7-month transformational program that he's going through called Sadhanapada. So he's coming to Trinidad because I'm going there day after tomorrow.
To Trinidad tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to Antigua, then all those countries.
Nice.
We have also signed… we are also signing agreements or MOUs with the CARICOM nations, all of them together, to bring about the soil policy. We have written a policy document, general one. Another aspect is considering the latitudinal position, soil types, economic conditions in a given country and agricultural traditions of that nation. We have written individual policies for every nation. So we will be presenting to these nations what they can do. We will also be hand-holding them for the next 2 years to make the transition. There is willingness to change because they have seen what a disaster this soil degeneration has been. Nearly $10 billion worth of food imports are happening in Caribbean nations, and nearly 23% of the people are obese, or 52% are overweight, over 50% are diabetic. So all these things, if it has to go, the most important thing is the soil strength. Because who we are as life is just a reflection or a consequence of what's happening in the topsoil. We are not separate from that. Will we get this when we are alive, or will we get this when somebody buries us? That's the only question.
Right. So were you waving your flag, though? And like busting a wine? No, I'm just messing
He
with
doesn't have, I mean, he's from India, but
I
he
know,
doesn't-
but you
he's
know,
not
on stage, you
ascribed
waving
to
your flag, you gotta, you know what I'm saying? It looked like an
Like, you
amazing…
can't- Yo, Sadhguru, he's from
you-
Earth, man.
You
No,
just get,
what happens is, see, we have found so many ways to divide humanity. Ra-
I told you.
race,
I know.
right, I know.
race, religion, caste, creed, nationality, gender, how many ways? I'm saying, if you do not understand the larger aspect of human consciousness, if it's too untangible, at least we understand we come from the same soil. If we don't get it, at least we go to the same soil, at least that much we must get.
Sadhguru's not buying any little piece
I
of
know.
fabric with colors on it and all
waving
that.
a flag,
But does
busting
he
a
chop
little
or
wine,
chip? Chop or chip?
busting it, tip.
Well, no, the real issue
You gotta
before he
tip
goes
down
is
the road, you know what
this
I'm
is the real issue. These three think they're gurus.
Well, I mean,
No, we're relationship gurus. We're not life gurus
Should I
the way you
retire?
are.
Should I retire?
No,
no.
please.
Different lane.
Sadhguru, you can join us and do some relationship guru.
Would you relationship guru while you're here? Would you comment on someone's? Do people ask you about relationships?
People email us with their problems.
People ask me about
That's
everything,
crazy.
but see, people are using relationships to squeeze joy out of the other person.
Ooh, bars. Come on, come.
If
bring
you
it.
were joyful by your own nature, you would naturally have wonderful relationships with anybody you meet. But right now, you're seeing how to squeeze joy out of this person. So, in pursuit of happiness, you're going to somebody. Well, that's bound to be a disaster somewhere.
This dude is gonna make everybody on the world single. Just based off that. See, a lot of people don't look at it like that, and I haven't either. You know? So you gonna have a lot of people out here. How many views did this video get? I'm curious. Oh, okay, 441,000. I was about to say, if this video got at least maybe 4 million, yeah, everybody in this world would be single. Simply because of this video here.
Because you're not happy.
Within.
Within.
You're trying to get it from somebody.
Somewhere else. You're trying to.
Yeah.
And you will
You're
become
trying to
a
milk
nuisance
somebody
after
else's to
some
make you
time.
happy.
Though initially it's an exchange program. After some time, it'll be a nuisance.
Yep.
Beautifully said.
Yep.
man,
That's guru talk.
that was guru talk.
Yes.
Sadhguru, ladies and
guru.
gentlemen, give it up for
That's a
him.
life joke.
Thank you so much.
There's gonna be a problem somewhere.
I enjoyed that video, man. Yeah, but as far as like the safe soil, you guys, like I've said that in the previous Sadhguru video that I reacted to about safe soil, and man, I'm gonna tell y'all, man, and I cannot stress this enough. The products and food that we consume into our body today, it's nowhere near the same. Forget burgers and stuff. I'm talking about vegetables too. Like none of this stuff is the same no more, bro. It's just getting worse. And to be honest, like now in today, like in 2022, I don't know if it's getting better. Like I don't know the scale or ratio or rate as far as if it's getting better or if it's but in my yeah, it's gotten worse over time, bro. It's crazy. As far as that last part, oh yeah, ain't nobody in the world ever looked at a relationship on that sort of hype. You know what I mean? Like we look at a relationship like, oh, we gonna be happy with this person, we gonna be, but then we don't really think, how come you can't be happy by yourself? Why does it take for you to be with somebody to be happy? Damn, that's crazy, bro. If you guys like this video, man, give it a fat thumbs up, like, comment, share. Machiavelli Gang, we up out of here, man. I love you guys, man. You guys have a blessed one, safe one. I'm catch you guys on the next one. Peace.